Rabbi Chona Cholash Ol Gabi Reb Yehuda, Rabbi over Rabbanon L'Shuli Beg, right? Rabbi Chona was a well, so Rabbi Yehuda and the Chacham they came to pay a sick visit. Boy minei shnaim shivu geb nidus hayom tzrichen shiomru fonei nachtam o ein tzrichen. Two people are shluchim. Omalem ein tzrichen. Why? They don't. Ma ilu yom fonei l'girsha. Let's say they would have come and said, she was divorced now presence. With this get, wouldn't they be believed? Okay, so which means the old Edom Tzim L'Kaimo, then definitely they're substantiating the get, right? The two witnesses that it's not a forgery. Thirdly, even if it's Lishma, we're speaking Lachash Lamdu. And since two is a Mislo Shchicha, right? Mislo Shchicha goes to Rabbanon, so even if they don't say it, there's no reason to say it. Because it's Mislo Shchicha, right? Because it's an unusual situation where you have two people Shluchim, so you're addressing both of them. Okay. Adohochi, Osahu Chabro, and while this happens, this Chabro comes in. Shoklo Lishragri Kamayu. He took the candle that was burning from their presence. He's going to come with the Zoroaster over here. Omar Rachmana. So he said, Omar Rachmana, O Betulach, O Betula Dvaresav. We should be either in your shade or the shade of the Romans. Lememros, evidently, which means the Chavro, they're intolerable. Mechlal, Samar says, Lememro, Darumoi, Moli, Mi Parsoi, that the Romans are better than the Persians. Because the Chavra is a sect of what? Sect of Persians. So Ratoshis learned that the Chavra, when they came to Bavel, they had such an influence on the Persians, they became literally a level of cruelty not to be believed. What does that mean? Elokim Haven Darko. Yeah? Hashem knows that they cannot accept the decree of the Romans. So rather than sending to Rome, he sent to Bavel. So we see that what? The Bavel is less severe than what? Than the Romans. Before they came, they were tolerable. After they came, they became worse than the Romans. So the story Rabbi Rechona is speaking where the Chavri already had come. So Rashi over here says, Haven Darko shall tervlum der hechen hu ru'i l'siyashev. Yeah. She goes in Shmad, Gzeros, Shaluisaska b'torah l'kaim mitzvahs. They made decrees of Shmad that you should not permitted to study Torah and fill mitzvahs. Viglos l'bovel b'churban abayis. Hamekami d'nei sechavit l'bovel. When was that? When's before the Chavri, the sect, came to Bavel? They made Kazdim, Nebuchadnezzar, Ovel Meroda, Chubal means going back to the Churban Abayis. That was before. Lebos the Osu Chavri, Mishakovas Koresh Amalchus, Umolch Bebavel. This is when the Persians took over. Initially, the Persians weren't there. Right? Who was Vashti's grandfather? Hello. Howard, who's Vashti's grandfather?
Belshazzar.
No, Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was Vashti's grandfather. Right? Her husband was a Persian. So that. Nebuchadnezzar was the grandfather. Okay? So the way Rashi learns, when did they come? They came, Koresh. Koresh was what? That was the time of the Chevri. Tosas argues. We'll go through Tosas, it's important. Hamakabi dos Chevri lebov, Pir Kujas Chevri, Hainu Parsoim, the Persians themselves. Umakami do also Chavri lebovel, Hainu Mekazdim Buchanetzav over Rodach Balshetzer Bosed the also Hainu. What is that? Shekovish Koresh Amalchus Molch Bebovel Kosher Minutam the Koch Chaverim Lav Hainu Porsim. We see they're not the same. The Chavri are not. It's a different nationality. Why? Don Perkasor Yuchsin, a little bit of a chazor here. Verses in Kedushin, Hereni Parsim. So he said to him, to pick Parsim to me, Dom l'chayol shel Beis David, Hereni Chaverim, Dom l'malachei Chavola. So you see that the Chavri are different. What? The Chaverim are not the same as what is the Persians. And Rashi learns they're the same. Vo the Perk Haboyivim to Mashma the Mei Rabbi Yochanan also. Chavri Bavel seems to be they came much later. This 250 years after the Churban Abayis, not a time of Koresh. Koresh was what before Binyan Bayisheni. The Amru Lei Rabbi Yochanan Also, Chaver Lebovel, Shaga Nofal. Yet the crown fell off. Meaning, they tell Rabbi, Chaver came to Bavel. Seems to be until then they didn't come to Bavel.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the Gemara in Beyo, from the Gemara in Beyo, it seems to be that they were there before Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara says over there that it says Meisviyom Rishon Yisaskubo Amomim. Meisviyom Sheni Yisaskubo Yisrael. So over there the Gemara says that when the Chevri came, then they if you go and you bury the dead, they're going to say, sure, the Jew always has a reason not to do avoda. Pesach Hayom, Chalamoid Hayom, every day there's another excuse not to do avoda. So if they're going to see people burying the dead on Yom Tif, what are they going to do? They're going to force the Jews to do malacha.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to be the problem was this over there. That was before Rabbi Yochanan. Omer read the Chaverim Hem Uma Achaz Shebo Bimei Rabbi Yochanan Uchshbo LeBavel Hirshiu as HaParshim. You hear this? They corrupted the Persians. Shebebavel Iskalkulu Tvei Miramaroi. They caused them to bring. They brought a level of cruelty worse than the Romans. Im Tomer Lemay Pirish Kuджis the Mekoresh Bo Parsum Bovel Bagozel Basar Amrinon Domle Rabbi of Kana Arhidno Havu Malchusa Divonoi Lokapti Ashvitas Nomi. Until now the Greeks, they couldn't kill. Human life had no value. Hash Parsoim Ninu Bakapti Ashvitas. Now the Persians, they value life to a greater degree. Mashri May Rav also Parsum Bovel. Seems to be it was later. Right, they said to Rav said to Rav Kana, until now we had the Greeks. Now we have the Persians to contend with. So it seems to me they came with Rav, even though Rav and Rabbi Yochanan, they overlapped. Rav was a Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan. No, they were colleagues. They were colleagues. I don't know, what's the kasha? They were colleagues. Rav and Rabbi Yochanan were colleagues. Omer read, Osam Havush Aro, Idno Havu Malchus Divoin, Shemos Shel Bovel, Hoyu Miavonim, the rulers of Bovel originally were Greeks. They were there. Okay, further. No, another sect. Basically, what they are. Yeah. I mean, the way it's from Rashi, it's not a kasha. He says, when he depicted it, it looked like Chaylos Beistov, the other one looks like it's a sect of Persians. Rashi learns it's like you have like it's another.
Like Nebuchadnezzar was a good guy. And then it got worse.
Got worse?
It's just hard to believe.
Okay, Echarom B'Fonei Nechtav. One says Fonei Nechtav. Ushnaim Omrim B'Fonei Nechtam Kosher. Okay? Because what's the reason for that? Poshet. Because Lishmo is what? One is enough for Lishmo. Right? And if you hold Edom to Lekaimo, there's no Osi Lachlufe. Omer Avami, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, Shonel Shagiet Yosim Tachas Yad Eid Ksiva, Yad Eid Ksiva Nasa Kishnayim. Salzer, the Nasa Kishnayim Alzer. So you have two. The Shliach himself is the equivalent of two, and you have two on that. Avol Betachas Yad Eid Chasimo. Apostle. 1 second. But if it came from Yad Eid Chasimo, Rega, Alfi Sheshneim Hiviu. Okay? If the shlich says I saw it, he's two, so you have two on two, right? Abel mitachs yidei edi chasimo posel.
So if it's
Afi sheshneim heviu.
There's no guarantee.
No, again. What he says? Abtachs yad edi chasimo. And who testified about the ksiva?
One of them has to be a dual role there.
Nothing. They're only testifying about the ksiva. Right. Because we're saying one on the ksiva, two on that. So it seems, let's say you had nothing on the ksiva.
If it's the other way around.
No, if you have nothing on the ksiva, just on the edi chasima,
okay.
it would be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you have nobody on that.
Right.
Al Muksov Shnaim Shivu get Media Sayam Tzricha Shomru B'Fonenu Nechtav or B'Fonenu Nechtam. Right? Meaning you have to say of a get.
No, this is Stam Mishnah.
No.
This is the last part of the Mishnah.
No. We're saying like this. If you have a shliach on the ksiva, then what's the halacha? He's two. Let's say you have no shlich on the ksiva.
Right.
You have the shlich doesn't speak about the ksiva. You only have on the what's his name, and then it's a problem. Okay, but the difficulty is the Gemara says earlier that when you have two on the ksiva on the chasima, no, even if you don't say a word about the ksiva, it's v'slo shchicha. We're talking lach shalomdu. After they became proficient, you don't have to talk about. It's not osid lachlufe.
Right.
Right. According to Rava, it's not a problem. It's not osid lachlufe. According to Rava, you're not going to confuse it because you have two on the what's his name.
Right.
And Shemos is not a problem lach shalomdu because it's v'slo shchicha. Because of a rabbanon. So why should we puzzle? Right. So he says, but see, al muksov shnaim sheviu. This is Ravami Om Rabbi Yochanan. His name is Rabbi Yochanan. Am Ksova Shnaim Shivu Gem Disi Am Sich Shomru Lefanein Nechtam. Amalei Ravasi Elamiata Reishi Victoni Shnaim Om Lefaneinu Nechtam Vechram Lefanein Nechtam Posel Ruda Machshir Vafilu Get Yosim Tachsi At Shneim Pasli Rabbonon. Right? So you see that what? That even if you have two on the what? On the Ksiva and one on the Chsima, you also pasel. Amalei in Zimnen Ashkei the Yosef Komar Afil Get Yos Tach Yar Ede Chasimo Kosher Amksov Shnaim Shviu Get Dida Say Yom Tzichem B'Foneinu Nechtav B'Foneinu Nechtam. 1 second. Amalei Ravasi Elamiata Reisha. One moment. Let's see Tosis. Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Echad Omer B'Foneinu Nechtav B'Foneinu Nechtam Kosher L'Rovad Afil Leka Meir Al Ksiva Kosher Lo Nokat Echad Omer B'Foneinu Nechtav Ela Agav Reisha. Okay, let's get back to this again. Rega. 1 second. Amalei Ravasi Elamiata Reisha Tori Shnaim Omer B'Foneinu Nechtav V'Echad Omer B'Foneinu Nechtam Kosher Posel Ruda Machshir V'Afilu Get Yotze B'Tachas Yidei Shneim Pasli Rabban. The Rabban Pasel. You have a shliach on what? Yeah, it doesn't, because you see, you have one on the what's his name on the chasima. Yeah, but even though we said before that because you have osid lachlufe, right? We said earlier that you have to have the aid has to testify about the shlich has to testify of the ksiva, because otherwise you're confused. Kim starts normally too, so that's the reason why we puzzled it, right? We explained this before. I mean, you have to understand, it's not a kasha. No. We said earlier. What's the machlokas Rabbi Yehuda and the Chacham? The Chacham hold that since you only have an eid echad, the shlich is an eid echad on the chasima, you're going to confuse it with kim shtaros.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So over here, because he's not testifying about the shlich is not saying anything about the ksiva. Rabbi Yehuda says there's no gzera. We're not concerned you're going to confuse it. That's the way we explain. So according to that, it's not a problem, right? Vafil gets the shem pasli rabon. Amalayin. It's true. That is correct. It is correct.
So
because there's no basis for what for confusion.
Right. So you're saying to get
The Rabban apostle. But what about if you have two on the chasima and one on the ksiva?
So that could be.
No, there's no problem. There's no. It's better.
That's the mission.
No, when you have
That's
two on the
valid.
ksiva, that's bona fide. That's bona fide kiyum.
Can't get better than that.
You can't. And now you have one on the ksiva. What do you have?
No problem.
You have no problem.
Right.
So what's the stira from the sefer? No, the Rebbe won't pass in the first case. First case, we have one on the ksiva, two on the ksiva. There's no reason to passel it. According to anybody. But if you have two on the ksiva, one on the ksiva, there you can have reason to passel. Of course, it could be confused with kim shtaros. Right?
Right.
Amalayein, zim ashkechei di Yosef Komar afilu get yotzim tachsiat eidei chasima kosher. There were times he said even if the get is Yosef eidei chasima, it's kosher. Amak sovar, shnaim shiviu gem dis eid tzrich shem fonein nechtam. Amalei Ravasi Elamiata reish l'tot shnaim omrim foneinu nechtav echrom foneinu nechtam posul. Right? Two say nechtav, one says nechtam posul. Review the machshir. Taimo, then get Yotzim Tachsidei Shneim, or get Yotzim Tachsidei Shneim, Machshir Rabbonon, Amaliyin. So this is still, right? First time he says, source of Vozimnin, Lo Amrit Lon Hochi, he says, but last time you said differently. Amalei Yosid Hi Shlo Tomut. Lashon achru hu emes. The last thing I said, that's correct. Not the first version, the second version. So what's the second version? Yet yotzim tachsidei shneim machshir rabbanon. In which case, where they say,
It's written by two on the written.
Shnaim omrim b'faneinu nechtav, ve'echad omrim b'faneinu nechtam. It's possible. He says, because the get is not yotzim tach shneim. Right? They weren't both shluchim. Get yotzim tach sidei shneim. If they be shluchim, it would be kosher. No, that's clear. He's choser, no question. No, as long as they're a shliach. The conclusion was that if you have a shliach on the rosh shluchim, you have two on the ksiva and one on the ksiva, the shliach, it's going to be kosher. It would be kosher, and that's because they're shliach. Or get yotzim, but if they would not, if on the ksiva they would just be edim, and then not shluchim, you only have the shliach on the ksiva, and he's only talking about the ksiva, then it would be possible.
Because you can confuse it that way? Is that why?
No, because that we said earlier, because we said the document is either through shliach or through edim. Not both. The shliach is only talking about the ksiva. He's not talking about the ksiva. Right?
So you can't confuse it with a regular shtar.
It has nothing with confusion. Nothing with confusion.
Okay.
The takana was that the shliach has to confirm both aspects. If they're all shluchim, it's not a problem.
No.
So you have shluchim on what? On the ksiva, and you have a shliach. But if you don't, that's when we passel it. Because we only gave credibility to the single shliach when he fully says what he's supposed to say. But he's not speaking about the chesiva, the shliach.
Right.
So according to the chacham, they passel it. But if it's yotzim b'tach yad shneim, then it would be.
So what's the case in the last case in the Mishnah? Echad omar b'fanei nektav.
U'shneim om fanei
Shnaim
nachtem.
omrim b'fanei.
The chacham passel.
No, it says kasha in the Mishnah. Kasha. That's the case we're arguing. The last case is the last
Machlokes
case in the
Rabbi Yehuda
Mishnah.
and the chachamim.
No, it doesn't. No.
Echron b'fanei nechtav, u'shneim om fanei nechtam. There it's no. That's he say that case is being where they're both shluchim.
Right. If they're both shluchim, it would be kosher. If they weren't both shluchim, it would be
It
possible.
would be possible. Correct.
And that's the case they're arguing about.
Right. Where they're not shluchim. Where they're not both. Where they're not shluchim.
Neither of them is shluchim, or
No. One has to be a shluchim. He's delivering it.
One is. Okay.
Right. The two are not shluchim,
Right.
and the one is a shlich. That's where we puzzle it. Right. So the last case, which is one speaks about the ksiv, two speak about the chasim, they're both shluchim. Therefore, the chachamim don't argue. But if, let's say, the one was the shliach, and the other two speak of the chasim, not shluchim, then we would puzzle it.
Can't get better than that.
1 second.
I know, but the machlokes is you can't mix and match, and there you're mixing and match.
No. The case where we pass, let's say, Shnaim omrim b'faneinu nechta v'chrom b'faneinu nechtam is possible. It's speaking about where the two are not shluchim. Not shluchim. Two speak about the ksiva, because there you could confuse it. There you could, because there's only one speaks about the chasima. He's not speaking about the ksiva. So what are people going to say? Kim stars could be with one witness. So that's what it comes possible. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda Machshir, Rabbi Yehuda says no. We're not concerned about the confusion. That's even if they are shluchim. Even if he's the shlich, they're not the shluchim. They're not the, if they be a shliach, and they said on the ksiva, so the whole thing comes through shluchim. Okay. Further. Nechta bayom v'nechtam balaylo. Okay, now it's a problem, right? So the date. It was written during the daytime and was signed at nighttime. Balaylo, nechtam bayom, nechtam bayom. Excuse me, nechtam bayom, nechtam bayom. Balaylo, nechtam balaylo. Balaylo, nechtam bayom kosher. Why? Because there everything's good. The date and the chasim are on the same day. Here, it was signed during the day. It was written during the day, signed during the day. It was signed at night, and the same night they
Delivered?
no, not delivered, signed.
They signed, they wrote it, and they signed it at night?
Either during the daytime, nighttime, or night and
Okay.
day. But night and day is the same day. No, it's the
Okay.
same day. Okay?
The only problem's going to be day.
By
and
yom.
night.
The day and the following night's a problem. What about the yom, v'nechtam balayla, posel?
Puzzle?
Why is it posel? Because when do you date it?
It's two different, it's predating.
It's because the get only comes down when you put the chasim on.
Right.
So, right? So the Tanakama says,
Puzzle.
posel. Reb Shimon machshir. Why? Shahay Reb Shimon omer kol agin shenichtav b'yom v'nechtam balayla psulim chutz migitin noshim. Except for gitin noshim. Yeah. Why? So why? So because it's a predated. Because if it's a monetary document, when are you going to collect from
Can't do it, right.
When are you going to collect from? You're going to collect from the buyers. The lien seems to be a day earlier.
Right.
Okay? So that's what Rashi says. Shkol gidin shel mecha umatora v'alvo psulin de'os levichim v'kuchas miyom dechsivo shlo kedin chutz migitei noshim de'lavdu gevaynu avido. Right?
Because if you predate.
Because even though the date's the day before, it does make a difference.
Right.
Because it's not for collection. It's not a collection document.
Right.
So just because the date is the night earlier, it does make a difference. Okay? Now the question is,
it might be for collection.
no.
They say maluk. That's what they're going to argue.
We'll see. Is it because Shemi Chapa Basachoso? Let's say you're concerned that, let's say she committed adultery. He's married to his niece, she committed adultery. And she committed adultery before the actual get was given to her.
Okay.
So if it's predated, he's going to save her life.
Right.
Right? So therefore we passed the get. Why did Chazal say you have to have a date? If a get is not a monetary document,
Then why the date?
what do you need a date? Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Basachoso. Basachoso. The man's married to his niece, and he normally a husband hears his wife committed adultery. What does he do? He wants to kill her. It's his niece. He has little compassion for her. You understand? Reish Lakish Shemperos. Because when does the husband stop having the right to nichsim luk?
No.
When he intends to divorce,
Yeah,
it
when he
wants to be
wants to-
Reb
No,
Shimon.
but that's only when you put the signature on the document.
Only when he gives the get.
When he has the mindset
We'll see.
to
We'll see.
divorce, that's going to be Reb Shimon.
We'll see. Let's see Rashi. Kevin Lavshtar the Gvainu Mishum Basachosov who Ishto. V'shem Tizne Tachtov. Yeah, she may commit adultery. V'chaso Leo Shlo Tichonik. She doesn't want to put it to death through chenek. Because lo get below zaman. V'noislo Shemamidin Le Bezdin Motzi Get Vomeres Grusha Yisi Pnua Bosasho. She'll claim she was single when she committed. It wasn't adultery.
Right.
V'shaber Shebizman Haget Ve'elech Im Yimkor Abal Beperos Nichsim Lug Shelo Tigveim. She'll collect because he had no right to sell him. Vim lo hoye bozman yemoche v'holech ukshetifel ledin have yod al tachton. It's a motzcha v'raya. She has to prove
that
when
she-
she received the get. She omar lo kodem gershin b'charti, right? He'll say I sold it before she received the get. So she'll have to bring a proof. So Reish Lakish says b'shum peres, and Rabbi Yochanan says b'shum basachosa. So now the question: Reish Lakish my tam lo Rabbi Yochanan. One Rabbi Yochanan, Reish Lakish said Rabbi Yochanan b'shum basachosa. Because to prevent this story with adultery, Omar lo shchicha. What, they're going to make a takana for something which is remote? How often does a woman commit adultery? For that one remote case, they have to be misakim zman begidin. Now, of course, for Rabbi Yochanan, my time of the Omar Reish Lakish. Sova yesh lo al peres ad shas nesino. You hear this? So it doesn't make a difference when the date is. Let's say you signed, the date is an early date. The husband hasn't yet lost his rights.
Okay.
He still has rights. So even after the get was written and signed.
Well,
So-
until he gives it.
Until he actually gives it. So
Uh-huh.
if that's the case, what's the value of the date?
Is it no value then?
Has no value. So if that's the case, the answer is because of adultery. That she
Okay.
shouldn't be able to cover. She'll claim
Right.
if it doesn't have a date, she'll say she had this illicit affair. It
Right.
wasn't adultery.
Mhm.
It sounds like Rabbi about that it's really the hasra. It's not that there's no nus. Unfortunately, isn't it that the hasra and the adim to prove there's nus?
No, that's below shchicha. That's below shchicha. That a woman commits adultery and that you're able to nail her.
Right.
That's below
That's
shchicha.
right.
Right? Pirshus ve'edum asra lo shchiach avo lo boy lemem shumsnus lo shchiach do bereish tiknu shu shedei psula nisus b'yom revi shemalo oyo tainis psula miyashkem lebesdin kashel likrui daito. Yeah, he brings a phenomenal proof. It says a psula gets married when? On a Wednesday.
Wednesday, for Thursday court.
Why? In case he finds. But if it's such a remote thing, they're going to make a takona. So evidently it's something to contend with. The answer is that is possible. But to be able to put it to death, that's not going to be possible. That's a remote. Umistavra the tvei einam equal lemechash l'shem tizne l'shem zonso. Go dos v'avogab do shchiach osu takona v'choshu t'letioso l'volomis ten v'iser avot hochel l'choshu ibachayv s'bisa v'lobitel v'kem do shchiach. Yeah, he says there's a big difference. Let's make another chiluk. He says there's no proof over here. No proof. Over there, what's the concern? If he cools down, he's going to live with her, live with an adulteress for the rest of his life.
Okay.
Over here, what's the question? So you won't put it to death. So you won't put it to death. How often does a woman commit adultery? Factually, it's remote.
Right.
It is remote. But as remote it is, but factually, for those few cases, he's going to be stuck with her for the rest of his life because he's doing Yisr. So that becomes the overriding factor. Okay, so Rabbi Yochanan holds that when does the Baal lose the right to Paris? Shas Nesina. Okay? So therefore, it doesn't make a difference. The date means nothing. Reb Shimon. That's why Reb Shimon is machshir. The get mugdam, like he says, Paris. Right?
When can he continue eating?
So therefore, whenever you write it initially, when you write it originally, he forfeited the right to the Paris.
Right.
So even without the signature.
So the intent is so it stops it.
Yep.
I want to divorce her.
Yep. He's prevented from having benefit.
No, not the no. What's the value? It says in the Mishnah, you write the get at the day and you divorce her at night. It's valid yet, right? When did he forfeit the Paris? He already forfeited the Paris when?
When you start writing, I think.
That's what he says explicitly.
It sounds like that, yeah.
When he intends to divorce her.
Right.
So you have the date. The get itself didn't take on any value till the following night. It's irrelevant. So the woman now has proof, right? Has proof that what? When he intended to divorce her, when the date was put into the get. That's what Shimon says she forfeits the Paris. Therefore it's kosher. The only reason why we're invalidating it is why? Because it's a faulty get. Why is it faulty? He can't connive her on the Paris, because whatever date that is, that date, it's not he's writing it today and he's predating it a week before. It's predated because it was signed the following night. You got it?
Okay. Did they put down the date that it was given to her?
No, the date that you write it.
So in other words,
Date of the Ksiva. The Ksiva is the next night. Reb Shimon says it's not a problem.
it's not a problem. You don't date that time.
Right, right.
Isn't there a Mishnah somewhere that it's just merely his intent? He doesn't even have to start
No.
writing.
He has to
Does he
write.
have to start writing?
He has to write.
What if he instructs the sofa? As soon as he instructs the sofa, no?
But it's
Ella Reb Yochanan, my time with the Reb Shimon, the Machshir. According to Reb Shimon, that's what? It's B'shas Nesina. So if that's the case, then what can he do? If it's a faulty date, he'll say, you know something? I didn't give it till later. Amalach Reb Yochanan, Alib Reb Shimon lo kamin. He says, I'm not. According to Reb Shimon, it's right. It's dependent when they start writing.
Mm-hmm.
When they write the get, he forfeits. Ki kamin Alib Rabbanon. According to the Chachomim, when he put a date, it's Mishas Nesina. So therefore, if the date when it was written, therefore he says that's the reason why I say it's Shemi Chapa Basa Choisei. Right? Rabbi Yochanan says, what's the reason why I put a date in the get? Because if you have no date, she commits adultery, you're not going to be able to do anything to her.
Okay.
Because forfeiting the Paris is dependent when you give it. When you give it, this is the Chachomim.
Okay.
No, he's not. Right. Bishlom Rabbi Yochanan Hainu Dika Ben Reb Shimon Rabbanon. Right? According to the Chachomim, since what is that Shemi Chaper? According to Reb Shimon, it's based on intent. Therefore, Elder Reb Shlokish, Maike Ben Reb Shimon Rabbanon. According to Rish Lakish, what's the difference? Because according to him, Reb Shimon, it's Bishas. 1 second. It's when it's signed. What does he say? That's the argument. That's it. Yeah. Ma'ika be Rav Shimon l'Rabbanan. I don't have. Well, what's the kasha? Why? According to the Chachomim, once it's signed, right? According to the Chachomim, it does not be given, but it has to be signed.
So in other words, you can
And
write-
according to Rav Shimon, even if it's written without being signed, she loses. So the Gemara says the Mishas Ksiva Atshas Chasimikiminai, right? Right. That's the difference. What about the fruits? He writes the get. It wasn't yet signed. According to the Chachamim.
That he can't
Under
eat
Reb
anymore.
Shimon, he loses the right.
Right,
Under
he
Rabbanan,
loses.
he doesn't lose the right.
Right, exactly. Right? According to the Chachamim, it's Mishas Nesina. So it wasn't given yet.
Not given or not signed.
No, it wasn't
Not
given.
Reb
All right,
Shimon
so
holds.
in other words, they can write it and sign it during the day, and then hold it, and then give it another time, and it'll be kosher. Is that correct?
Kosher. We're just talking about the. Just talking about.
According to the Chachamim, according to Reish Lakish,
Right,
when you sign the get,
right.
he loses it. When he signs the get,
When
he
he
loses.
signs it, now, can he hold that date?
He could hold it as long as he wants. I have this. If I know the get was written and signed on the same date.
But not given, then he
It'll be
loses.
given later.
Wait a minute, but that's the...
What do you mean he loses? What loses it? What?
He loses the payroll.
He loses it. So why should?
Once he signs
So why should we? So she has that get now. Now she gets the get. So now let's say he sold anything after he signed that get.
Oh, it's no good.
He has to return that.
Right.
He wasn't his.
Right.
According to Reb Shimon,
He could sell it, because he didn't
no.
give it.
According to Reb Shimon,
Earlier.
no, earlier. When he started to write, so even it's a different date. It doesn't make it. We're not going to validate that get. What's the halachic difference between the two of them? The payris between this writing and the signing. According to Reb Shimon, it's what? Who does it belong to? It belongs to the wife.
Woman is soon.
The moment that she starts
Right,
writing.
right.
According to the Chachamim, it still belongs to him.
until he signs.
Someone says, "Vayib chashamin elu diidmar." Mosai motzim peris. It says, when do we take the peris away from the husband? Rabbi Yochanan mishas ksiva.
On writing. or something.
Even though we said according to Rabbi Yochanan, he said
the other.
it's shemi chape because it's mishas nesina. Vishlok sham and mishas nesina. So we have a stira, and we just explained. Why does Rabbi Yochanan say date is b'shemi chape? Because you forfeit the peris when you give it. And here he says, and when does the husband forfeit the peris? When he writes it. Rabbi Shlokish says Epoch, invert opinions. Rabbi Yochanan is Mishas Nesina, and Rish Lakish is what? Mishas Ksiva. Amalei Abaylo Rav Yosef. Okay? Amalei Abaylo Rav Yosef, Gimel Gitin Psulim. We had this before in Daf Gimel Amid Beis. The three Gitin that are puzzled, Vimnisis Avlat Kosher. But if she marries, the child is a kosher. Mahu Ilot Chachom Takarosam. What? So what did they accomplish? If actually tell me the child is a kosher child, and what's one of the cases where it doesn't have his man? It doesn't have his man. So what did they accomplish with the takana? Okay? Omle Abaylo Rav Yosef Gim Psulim V'Nisam Vat Kosher Ma'u L'Takon Chachom Takonosom. What did they accomplish by putting a date in the get? Even if he leaves it out, it's still it's not considered adultery. Yeah. She's not going to get married. It'll prevent that situation. She's not going to get married. Lo sinose. Okay? No, that's one of the three getting psulin. There's no zman in the get.
There has to be.
That's the question. If you're saying, we're saying, what is the whole thing? Shemicha babasachoso. So what could we give her a get without his man? And whatever it is, she could commit adultery.
Right.
And the get is considered a kosher get.
And you
I mean,
can't
we're not
break
going
it.
to allow her to remain married to the guy until he gives her a new get.
Right.
But what do I accomplish with this man? This man is not a deterrent.
Nothing.
The answer is, l'chatchila, she's not going to get married.
Isn't the chiddush that the offspring are legitimate? So
No, so that tells me the
Why?
get is valid. The
get
Chacham
is
didn't
valid.
invalidate it even on a rabbinic level.
On some level.
They did not invalidate it on a rabbinic level that it's a mamzer midrabana.
Mhm.
Right? That's what you see. So the Gemara says, so what have they accomplished? The woman will commit adultery. She'll do what she wants. The answer is no. It will be deterrent. She won't get married l'chatchila. No, but we're saying, If it's shlo yichab b'basa choso, right? So if he wants it to protect his niece, he just writes the get without, he gives it to her, finished. Right? If he wants to protect, the answer is no. L'chatchila, a person won't give such a get. L'chatchila, he's going to make sure there should be his man. Correct. Right, because a husband. Right. What about Gazel is man day? The Yavo Nebo, my. What about had his man, and they shaved off his man, and they gave it to her? My. That's the question. We say, what do you put his man in the get? Because of what? Because of this. What about it had his man? And they cut it off, so there's no way to determine when it was. So what's going to be? You can say, Amos will have a varaya.
Yeah, can't prove it.
No, so what do we come by payros? Right? He has a way to somehow circumvent it.
Right.
Gazl's mandi day, no. No sofer is going to write a get without his man. Right? If we,
afterwards.
the husband will take the get, cut it off, and give it to her.
So
So the husband now, he has the upper hand. He'll do things illegally, payros everything under the sun. And how do what's the halacha? Do we invalidate it? We're not concerned. He's going to cut it off. So there, you're not, what's his name? You're not being very specific. Right? It's in, shvua means, it's the, what's it called it? It's the Shemitah. So you know which sabbatical cycle.
Oh.
But there's a lot of leeway there. The year, the month, or the week. Omalei kosher. So Marius, Ma'il tachom takonosam, Anu l'shvua de kamei, l'shvua de basrei. Still, you have certain guidelines. It's not in the previous Shemitah, it's not in the following Shemitah. Dilo temahochi yoma gufe miyadina mitzafri mipanya. Because even if you have the date, do you know if she received the gate in the morning or in the afternoon? You don't know. So there's a question. Maybe she committed adultery. Maybe she committed adultery in the morning, and he wrote the get. She'll claim she got the get before she committed adultery. Therefore, it's not adultery.
That with any shtar, if you sell and buy on the same day, it's exactly the same problem.
Unless it's immediate.
Correct. Isn't that the case in Bava? One of the Bavas where you buy and sell the property in the same day, and you don't know which one takes precedence?
Then you have a problem.
Right.
So you have two people claiming, so that's the whole discussion over there.
Right.
That's what they shoot and deny me. It's a toss-up over there. Elo li'oma de kamei li'oma de basrei. Chanami hani l'shvua de kamei l'shvua de basrei. No, same idea. As long as the date gives you some on this guideline,
So certain parameters.
doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. So he's asking, what about the day? It's Ein L'Dav Sof. The day we're not specific in the hour. Everybody agrees you're wrong. So what happens if he sold it on that day? Let's say he gave it to get in the morning, and he went and you hold it's in the shas. Whatever, see what doesn't make a difference. He sold off all of Paris in the morning. He'll claim that really, factually, it was written in the morning, and he sold them off in the afternoon. How do you protect her? You can't protect her, correct? So that you could say maybe is more remote. Right? That's more remote.
But here what you want to protect it from is from Mamzeira.
No, it's not. What about going even according to Reish Lakish? Going even according to Reish Lakish. According to Reish Lakish.
Oh, you're trying to show that the date isn't effective
The
as
date
protecting
is
her.
as specific it is. You're still not
Never
covering every
protect-
base.
Okay. So Reish Lakish's
Same thing. So
rationale is a problem.
the answer you say, as long as we have some scope of what's going on, that's sufficient. That was the takana. So it comes out that's not going to be a Gittin Psulim. That's not going to be one of the Gittin. Gittin Psulim means you have no date whatsoever. No date whatsoever. Beznus? L'chatchila. This is l'chatchila.
It's weird that a cutout date is going to be much better than a
No, he says no. No.
No.
The husband's cut off. We're not worried he's going to cut it off. He said, what's the takana? The husband could always cut it off. And everybody will be in a quandary. Right? The answer is that we're not concerned. A guy which blatantly, clearly means he's dishonest. He's not going to do something which reveals himself to be dishonest to such a degree. That's the Rami Lo Chashina. But if you have no date, he claims I'm an honest guy. But if he overtly does something which clearly he wants to conceal when the date was, the man's a thief. So prove it. But there's plenty of smoke there. We haven't yet found the fire, but smoke there is.
If he writes Shavua and he doesn't write anything else, that's okay?
No, the Sofer wrote this. Let's say it was a mistake. He wrote Shvua. Are we going to invalidate it? The answer is no. Because the only reason is why to have an idea, the answer is you never have an idea. Even on the day itself, you don't have an idea. Because is it in the morning? Is it
Morning to afternoon, okay, fine. But so he has
the
to
Gemara's
be-
equating both. They're equating both.
The time is not important, but the date is.
So basically slugs up Reish Lakish, right?
No.
It doesn't?
But we're saying the same thing according to everybody. Everybody.
Reish Lakish is saying the reason you put it in is because...
Of Paris. So the
Payros,
same thing.
To protect her.
So on the day
So
itself,
you never protect her.
no, she's protected to a degree. As long as she's protected to a degree, that's enough. Because even on the day itself, she's only protected to a degree. He gave her the get in the morning, he sold out in the afternoon. He'll say, no, son, I gave the get in the afternoon, and we sold in the morning. See, if you hold Edi Mesira Karsi, she's a little bit more protected, and you have a date. Because the Edim, he's not going to play games, because the Edim could actually nail him to the minute. Right, because you have Edi Mesira. If you hold like Rameh, you got a problem. Because Rameh only have Edi Chasima. But according to Rabbeinu Tam, you have Edi Mesira also, right? Rabbeinu Tam says the Abdalid, that to make the shtar Edi Chasima is enough, but because Dov Shiberva, you have to give in the presence of witnesses. So factually, the husband is not to play around because you have witnesses besides the get itself.
So you're even if you're a Kashi, really not that important, but that's when they give the gift, that's it.
Yeah, but they don't remember. If you have a get to go on, it's man, they may remember.
So they're around to giving it, to be 6 years after.
Omali Ravina L'Rova. Kasvei v'osvu b'kistei. This we spoke about. Person writes the get, everything's done, and he puts it in his pocket. You know, things are a little rocky. This man says, you know something, write the get, have it signed. We'll see what will happen. The mephisis to fayus. If we're able to make up, we'll get rid of the get. Might. Now the question is, what's the question? Does he lose? Now the taught us to fayus lo yikasher v'li fayus garsha b'chimot gidul yodo haydi garsha. So what's the question?
Does he lose Payros in that case? That's what he wants.
No, maybe you should write another get. You should write another get. Yeah, but again, see, the question shouldn't be a question. You just said if you write a shvur, the sabbatical year, it's enough because you have a certain idea. So the same thing, you know, before the date, you also have an idea. Unless maybe you have to have both. You understand? By the shvur, he says you have shvur rishona and you have shvur achrona. Hear this. The person doesn't write a get unless what? Unless he's ready to give it. He's not going to go to that degree. Yeah. So Tosa says over here, according to Reish Lakish, that he said that the Baal forfeits the Paris. Once the Chasim and not Mishas Nesino, he says over here will be agreement that since initially the intent was to wait and see, here even Reish Lakish agrees it's Mishas Nesino. Tosa explains. Here? Ba'avagav Dileo Reish Lakish to Yishbal Paris Achas Chasimo, Halchamode the Yishbal Paris Achas Nesino. Why? Kavani Mefai suffice because the initial intent was not to make the break. Why does we say it's Mishas Chasima? Because all intents purposes, it's just a technicality to give it. No, it's a technicality to give it to her. Here, it's more than a tech. He doesn't know if he's divorcing her. He doesn't lose the Paris unless it's finalized in his mind he's divorcing her. He doesn't say. Omio ahu de git na bom dir sayam, if you could tavai porach tsas kosher dilmo lo yafsid Mishas Chasima le shlokish, hoyse etzlo hoy megar shel alter.
Seems like that's a big problem if he loses that get.
Okay, stop.